Back, everybody, to the Westlake Hornets Teambuilder Dynasty here on NCAA Football 14. As today, we head out to Burmester, Utah, and the 5-6 BYU Cougars are set to take on the 10-1, number 6 ranked Westlake Hornets here, and it is senior day for the Hornets today. They don't have a large quantity of seniors, starters, or depth, but they do have many key players who will be graduating this offseason. The notable seniors include quarterback Mike Hadley. Hadley has been a career backup, but he will get the Benjamin Gold treatment and start the first drive of the game. And the only other main senior on offense is right tackle Donald Shaw, who has been a starter since his true freshman season. On to the defense. Looking at the linebacking core, there are two seniors. Scott Wheaton, who's been a depth player his whole career. However, he has been a great leader in the locker room and one of the team's captains. And then the other linebacker senior, Owen Jackson, this team's biggest and probably best senior. Jackson won the Linebacker of the Year award last year and is the favorite to do so this year. And then in the secondary, both safeties, Brenton Scott and Sean Briggs. Briggs has been a 4-year starter, Scott only a 1-year starter, but both of them have been very impactful, especially Briggs. Barring a miracle, Westlake will host the Pac-12 Championship, so this won't be the last home game for the seniors, but today is being recognized as their senior day. First down. Smith looking to throw it. He gets it to an open man. That's Andrew Kelly. Remember, that was Jackson Kelly's favorite route at Illinois. Why is that last statement important? Because Andrew Kelly is the son of Jackson. Jackson was also the former offensive coordinator here at Westlake, so the Kelly family ties, they're important to this Hornet team, as there's Andre Haynes gaining 12 somehow. BYU's offense has looked pretty good so far today, but it is a 3rd and 10 now, and they do kind of need to get this conversion if they want any chance of scoring points. As Smith, under pressure from Spencer, and it goes absolutely to the middle of nowhere. Andy Pino was closest, but that ball is still very far from him. Here is the Westlake offense. Of course, Mike Hadley will be playing the first drive of this game, just like longtime backup quarterback Benjamin Gold did during his senior day. Hadley on first down. He's going to get it to Malik Brown, the junior slot receiver, and he will gain 23. Obviously, Westlake's main starter at quarterback, Peyton Curtis, is still out, so many people would have thought Hadley would just be the backup and start these last two games, but the Hornets have given the main QB duty to Rodney Allen, the redshirt freshman. Allen is far more mobile than Mike Hadley, and I think his more diverse style is one of the main reasons why he got the nod over Hadley, as Noah Newton came down with that ball. Hadley with a bad decision. I don't know why he lobbed it into double coverage, but somehow Noah Newton bobbles it and he comes down with it. That was a bad pass from Hadley. Great coverage from BYU. But somehow Noah Newton is able to come down with it for a gain of almost 50. Savage loses 4. And it has been a rough start for this Westlake rushing attack. Marcos Vadietz, a player who Westlake was going after and recruiting a number of years ago, is there with the tackle. Marcos Vadietz is now a sophomore. He is a native of Slovenia, so I guess that's a fun fact about him for you. Third down now. Hadley looking in the end zone for Nigel Wiggins, and that'll be a touchdown. Wiggins with his 14th of the season, which of course is a school record for most receiving touchdowns in a season. Nigel Wiggins also has more receiving touchdowns in his career than anyone active in college football, and Wiggins still has another year of eligibility left. Ourselves an EA Sports Studio update. Ohio State has a 7-0 lead over Michigan, and if you're a Westlake fan, you're rooting for the Wolverines today. Ohio State is a roadblock for Westlake if they want any chance of making the national championship. BYU's offense has not played too badly today. Let's see if they can get some points on the board here on this series. 2nd and inches, close to midfield, as it's going to be a play-action pass. Haynes with the play. He gets by Andy Pino and is hit hard by the senior Brenton Scott. 2nd and 1. Smith is going to keep it on the option. He loses 3. Cole Spencer with the initial contact, but that was Owen Jackson with the play. Jackson has been a tackle for loss machine here at Westlake, as he has over 50 in his career. BYU's offense is now out of that no man's land that haunted them last drive, so the Cougars should be able to score some points on this possession as Smith looking to throw it. He has some time. He connects with Johnson, and that's going to be a fumble. Owen Jackson forces it out. Andy Pino will pick it up, and Westlake gets it back. Jackson, of course, is known as a hard hitter. However, that's only his third forced fumble of his career. All three have come this season, and that ball came right out, and the man he hit is injured. Owen Jackson in a nutshell for you, folks. Owen Jackson might be the hardest hitter in the history of college football. That guy can absolutely put a boom on you. Anyway, here's the Hornet offense. Rodney Allen, now at quarterback. He made his first start last week, and he ended up throwing 4 touchdowns in the win over Boise State. As Wiggins, he almost had open room. Still a nice gain of 28, as Wiggins has definitely taken over as this team's top receiver this year. He's done a very nice job of replacing Everett Lemieux in that role. BYU's offense has played very well today. They just have not been able to capitalize. And if you're playing a team as good as Westlake, with an offense of Westlake's talent and caliber, you need to capitalize. And the Hornets will make them pay. Savage gains 14, pushed out by Marcos Veditz. Good run for Savage, who's only at 9 yards today because his first 2 carries came for a loss of 5. Now it's first down for Westlake. Rodney Allen scrambling. Allen looking cross field for Wiggins. One-handed snag for a gain of 15. What a catch. Brandon Johnson, the receiver who fumbled the football on the last drive, he is out for the game with a mild concussion. But folks, that's why you do not mess with Owen Jackson. Now it's a 3rd and 7. Allen, he is under a ton of pressure, but he has the speed to get out of it. He's still sacked, and the ball does come out, but instead of losing like 10 yards, he only loses 3. Brian Newell is the one who brings him down. Here is the field goal unit for Westlake. This is a 39-yard attempt for the true freshman Volker Gantz, who is 10 for 16 on field goals this season. Will make it 11 for 17, right down the middle. Westlake up now 10-0, as Michigan with 2 touchdowns. They now lead it in the Big House, 14-7 over the Buckeyes. These two teams have a combined 1 loss, and this game looks like it's going to be exciting. BYU's offense has had 2 good drives today. They just haven't been able to capitalize with any points. Now they're down 10-0, and they could use a few scores, as Andre Haynes goes nowhere on 2nd down, losing 2, courteous of the sophomore Ray Johnson, forcing a loss of 1, bringing us to a 3rd and 8. Cadley is back in the game at quarterback for Westlake, and it's not that Rodney Allen played bad on his first drive. Allen actually played really well, but on that last play, he got hurt. His day is over, and it is the Mike Hadley show from here on out. Hadley gets it to Brown, who is going nowhere, actually loses a yard, and that'll do it for the first quarter. Now that we're in the second quarter, I forgot to mention this earlier since I was so caught up in senior day, but these two teams are actually rivals. The rivalry is known as the Cold War, and Westlake has always had success against this team. They're either 8-0 or 7-1 all time. I'm not entirely sure, as it's a toss for Savage. He outruns the defender, and he has blocks down the field untouched like weekend homework, and that'll be a touchdown for Dante Savage, and the Hornets will extend their lead. Welcome to the second quarter, everyone. BYU's offense did nothing on the last drive, and now down 17-0. They are in some trouble. 2nd and 3. It's going to be a toss for Andre Haynes, who's losing more yards. Josh Wilson, the lockdown corner this time with the play. They're going to give that tackle to Owen Jackson. I think that was more of Wilson. I guess Jackson finished him off. BYU's offense is a solid 1 for 3 on 3rd downs. I wouldn't really call that solid, but I guess it's not atrocious. As here's Dan Smith. He has time. He has a wide open man deep. That's Victor Campbell. No coverage from John Paul Patterson. And that'll result in a gain of 35. BYU is at the 2, the closest they have been to the end zone. Maybe this is where they finally score. No Andre Haynes in the backfield. He got injured a few plays ago. And if you're asking, no, it was not Owen Jackson who hurt him. As it's an option for Dan Smith, he loses 2. Speaking of Owen Jackson, he gets the tackle, already his 7th of the day. Now it's 3rd and 3 from about the 4. Can BYU punch it in, as it's the senior fullback, L.A. Ulis in motion, and they do not punch it in. Cole Spencer brings down Steve Thompson for a loss of 1, setting up an interesting 4th and 2. So Matthew Hines, the second string running back, also got hurt. He'll return to the game. We do not know the injury of the starter, Andre Haynes. Anyway, 4th and 2. BYU is surprisingly going to take the points. I think that's a pretty bad coaching call, but they do get it, so it's now a 14-point game. Here returns the Westlake offense, and with Mike Hadley, both of their drives were touchdowns. However, the Rodney Allen drive only saw a field goal. So maybe this is better for Westlake's offense. Who knows? Handoff for Savage. He's the main reason why they scored on their last drive. And Savage with a nice run of 20. After a slow start, he now has 86 yards and only 6 carries. So I assume we will hear a lot more of his name as this game goes on. So it turns out that BYU's starting running back Andre Haynes isn't even on the injury report right now, so I guess he's totally fine. He might have just had cramps or something. As here's Hadley. He is an open man deep. That's Wiggins, but it's actually intercepted. Marcos Vedic makes a nice play on the ball. Quickly wrapped up by Mike Carter, but still a nice turnover, and Vedic has played really well in this game. And obviously, as I mentioned earlier, Westlake was going after him and recruiting, so he's showing off the Hornets what they missed in him. I think BYU was probably the better choice for Vedic anyway, because he'd be a backup on this Westlake team. He'd probably be the starter next year, however. As on first down, Andrew Kelly with the famous Jackson Kelly out route for a gain of 22. Andrew Kelly has had a similar impact to this BYU offense that Jackson Kelly had to the Illinois offense, so if you were there for that, you're getting flashbacks as on 3rd and 2. The big fullback, L.A. Ulis, the senior, gains 27 on the fullback dive, bringing it to the 20. Plays like that show you why L.A. Ulis is the best fullback in college football. BYU is back in the red zone. This is their 4th good drive, yet they only have 3 points to show for it as Andre Haynes' first carry back. He loses a yard. Cole Spencer with a tackle for loss. The clock will continue to tick. BYU has 2 timeouts remaining, while Westlake still has all 3. 3rd and 4. That's Victor Campbell in motion. It's going to be a pass. Smith, short one for Andre Haynes, wrapped up by Pino and Kahn, pushed out of bounds, so the Hornets will not even have to call a timeout for 4th and 1. BYU is going to go for it here. I don't know why they didn't go for it last time. I mean, I think the call makes sense here, but they should have gone for it earlier. As Dan Smith under pressure, and he's picked off in the end zone by Andy Pino. That may seem like a selfish play, but it actually does give the Hornets better yardage, and it helps Pino's stats out, so win-win, I guess. Nice play from the redshirt sophomore cornerback, Andy Pino. Westlake has it back. Fake handoff for Savage. Hadley scrambling. What am I watching? And somehow it ends in the hands of Malik Brown. Tough throw from Hadley, but it somehow caught as he threads the needle, or maybe he gets super lucky. I'm not sure which one. 44 seconds left, 2nd down and 7. Westlake just called their first timeout, and that statistic tells it all. Westlake's offense has been dominant today, but so has BYU's. BYU has had 4 good drives, and they have scored 3 points all day, so this score has been closer than it actually resembles, as there's Noah Newton with another big gain, this time of 40. 2 catches for 89 yards on the day for Noah Newton. Westlake will continue to drive down the field. Remember, they start the second half on offense, so they can make this lead even bigger than it already is. Hadley is going to be sacked on first down. Westlake calls a timeout. That was the right end, Bo Tate, with the sack, forcing us to a 2nd and 22. Hadley and Savage in the backfield, only 25 seconds left. Hadley looking deep, and it's picked off again. Marcos Vedic with his 2nd of the day. Ulrich Luco, the intended target. As have yourself a day, Marcos Vedic. 2 picks in the first half alone, and BYU will get the ball back. Folks, that is exactly why Westlake wanted him. Westlake offered him a scholarship when he was a junior in high school, played his high school ball here in Utah. Obviously, as I said, he is a native of Slovenia. As there's Marcus Shelton with the sack, that'll pretty much end the first half. To put the first half into 2 sentences, BYU's offenses looked almost as good as Westlake's, despite the score, and every single one of Mike Hadley's passes were caught. I'm just not saying which team caught each pass. Now third down, Hadley throws it away, and that'll be a 3-and-out. BYU gets the ball right back. 3 straight drives of 0 points for the Hornets. BYU's offense has been great today. It's just that they have 3 points on the scoreboard, and they have to capitalize. And they're going to try to do that here on 4th and 1. And Andre Haynes gains 3, and that's all they need. The drive will continue. The gutsy call on 4th and 1 works, as on first down, that'll be a fumble, and Ray Johnson picks it up. So right when they convert, they don't capitalize again. Dan Smith throws it backwards. It was a real pass, and Johnson will pick it up. All I'm going to say about that drive for BYU, ouch. Now it's 3rd and inches here for Westlake. Hadley tosses it for Dante Savage. Savage jukes out a defender, breaks the tackle from They Deets, and somehow gains 14. What a run for Savage. He's now over the century mark. Dante Savage has 9 carries for 103 yards today. And even though the run blocking has been up and down this season for Westlake, today it's been really good, and it has shown. 4th and 5, here's the field goal unit. Volker God's kick is up, and it is wide left. He just misses it, and the score will remain 17-3. Both offenses are playing well today, but it's like nobody wants to score for some reason. 2nd and 1, Haynes going nowhere. Marcus Shelton with the tackle, and Andre Haynes is hurt again. The injury bug has been real here in Burmester, mainly for BYU, as Westlake's only injury today has been Rodney Allen. 3rd and 1, handoff for Hines, the backup, and Matthew Hines is going nowhere. Josh Wilson is there with the tackle, and the superstar corner will force a 4th down. Andre Haynes has a dislocated wrist, and he will return to this game. Credit to Haynes. He's gotten banged up all day, but he recognizes that this is probably the last game of the season, and he wants to get as much time as he can get. He's only a sophomore, though, so it's not like it's the last game of his career. As Hadley on first down loses 4, courteous of Brian Newell, his 2nd sack of the game. Let's just say these offenses are trying to play golf. They're moving the ball down the field, but they don't want to score. Westlake does lead this one 17-3. 3rd down, Andrew Kelly in motion. Smith looking to throw it. He has plenty of time. He's taking a shot deep downfield, and it's intercepted. Josh Wilson with his 8th INT of the campaign, which leads college football. He will be dragged out by Andrew Kelly, but still a nice play from Wilson, who I think is without a doubt the best defensive back in college football right now. Quarterbacks do not throw the ball his way. Number 1 receivers do nothing against Westlake. Whenever the ball does come near him, he picks it off. I'm not sure how many interceptions is the record in a season for Westlake, but I know Josh Wilson's 8 has to be awfully close. 2nd down, here's Dante Savage with another great run as he finds the holes and he's able to create big runs. 11 carries, 133 yards, but now that we're in chew clock time, I assume that number of carries will go way up. Dante Savage has definitely played the best game of his season. Savage is not in the backfield on first down. It's Patrick Daly who's been quiet today. Daly loses 2, putting him at a total of 0 rushing yards on the game. So I guess when one of these 2 running backs does really well, the other one does not. Westlake's pass blocking has not been good in the second half, and you'd think with Mike Hadley, a guy who is not mobile at all, would be sacked a lot, but he's made some nice plays, throwing it away just in time, as now on 3rd down, quick pass for Nigel Wiggins, who gets the 1st down. Very nice play from Hadley, who is playing better than his stats would suggest. Maybe, just maybe, we will finally see points here in the second half. 3rd and goal from the 1. It'll be a toss for Dante Savage, and he will find the end zone for a 2nd time today. And Westlake is now up by 21 with just over 2 minutes to play. Hopefully this studio update is the Ohio State-Michigan game. It is not. It is USC taking on UCLA. Donnie Scott with a rushing touchdown, and the Trojans lead it 7-0. Ohio State currently up by a touchdown, and they have the football, so they should win that one over Michigan. And Penn State beats the Spartans by 1, 28-27, and the Nittany Lions will clinch a bowl game because of it. Luckily, it's not the national championship, but we don't want a Westlake Penn State rematch. This could be it for BYU's season and the career of many of their legendary seniors, including custom recruits Andrew Kelly and L.A. Ulis. 4th and 3, Matthew Hines does get the first down, so I guess the drive will continue. 3rd down and 4 from the 8. BYU is 5 for 13 on 3rd down conversions today. And if they score a touchdown, that'll mean they're only going to lose this game by 7. So I guess that's kind of cool, and they do get it. Pierre Manning with the touchdown reception. He is BYU's top receiver. I feel like that's like his first or second catch of the game, which just goes to show how good Josh Wilson is. That wasn't even Wilson on the coverage. That was Andy Pino, and BYU will make this game a little bit closer. When I said BYU was only going to lose this game by 7, I forgot that Dante Savage just scored. Anyway, here's the onside kick. It is recovered by Noah Newton, and that's pretty much how this game will end. That is how this game will end, and it was ugly at times, but Westlake does get the win, and they were certainly the better team in this game, only winning at 24-10. In the first half, that was all about offense. Second half was all about defense, and while there was not too many points in this game, I would say both offenses looked good for the most part. Mike Hadley was average in his stint replacing Rodney Allen. Next episode will be the Pac-12 Championship versus Stanford, I believe. And Peyton Curtis, Westlake's main starting quarterback, will be back. So I'm sure the Hornets will not hesitate to start him over Hadley and Allen, even though they both look solid. That'll do it for the regular season. That'll do it for BYU's season. Hope you guys are excited for the postseason festivities.